So they're gonna tell you that you can't compete with products that have more than 50 reviews. Well, today I'm here to show you guys that you can compete with products with more than 1,000 reviews, and I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. Hey, how is it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Yaniv. I'm a multiple six-figure Amazon FBA seller. Have been selling on Amazon for almost a year and a half now. That is literally pretty much all that I do, that and this YouTube channel. And if you guys are subscribed, you guys know that I like to keep it real on the channel. You know that I like to pretty much tell you guys how it is. And today is no different. I'm gonna go over what I'm thinking when all these gurus are saying and kind of teaching you guys that you should not be selling or competing with products that have more than 50 reviews. Well, today I'm gonna break that myth and I'm gonna show you guys and actually break it down for you how exactly and why exactly you should be looking at maybe 1,000 reviews and over to compete with. And I know this is like really going against the grain and it's kind of pretty much everything, against everything that you guys know. But in today's video, just stick around and I'll show you guys what I mean. Another thing, I'm giving out consultation calls on the channel. If you guys watched the last video, you guys know this. For this video, I'm gonna announce the winners from the last one later in the video, so stick around for that. Also, if you guys wanna win the consultation calls for this video, make sure to comment down below something that you're grateful for. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment done with something that you're grateful for, and I'll be giving out a consultation calls to people who do that. And you'll see it in my next video, so stay tuned for that one. Also in this video, I'm going to show you guys a potentially good product to go into, something that might be profitable for you. I didn't do the due diligence on it, but it's really to show you guys what you're looking for and what to do to find a good product to sell. So stay tuned for that, and I will be showing it somewhere in the midpoint of this video. I'll stop what I'm doing and show you guys it. So let's get right into it. I've been selling on Amazon for quite a while now, and one of my first products I went to compete with was against a person who had 1,000 reviews. Now I know that many of you guys are probably pretty scared of going up against someone who has 1,000 reviews or more, and I totally understand that because it is very scary. So when I was first looking at the product, the reason why I decided to go into it, everything about the product was good. It was small, it was light, it was something that I could ship over inexpensively. It's something that had a good profit margin. I think it was like a 50% profit margin or 55% profit margin at first. And everything kind of lined up perfectly for me. There wasn't a lot of people in the market, but there was one person who had 1,000 reviews. And by the time my product actually came in, he was at like 1,100. So he was growing quickly, and he was doing really well. But there was a few things that I did that I'm going to show you guys in this video to compete with him. And there's another reason. Obviously, I'm not going to come in there and take over the market and completely annihilate him. And that's not actually what happened either. But when I did launch my product, I made a ton of money from it because I did not think of it as a competing with the product. It was a different offer from the product. So I was doing something that the first initial person was not doing, and that kind of put me and made me stand out from the crowd. Even with 20 reviews, I was making a lot of money. So this right here is a funny product because one of my friends actually decided, or rather found this product about a year ago, and they were looking at it, and at the time there was only one person selling it, which was this guy right here. And at the time he was making like $20,000 a month. I don't know how much they're making now, but we can check that. Probably a pretty good amount of money, but he was making he's making $40,000 a month. So he's actually doing even better than what he was doing before. At the time, he didn't have that many reviews, and he was doing probably around $29,000, $30,000 a month. And my buddy, I think he had like 200 reviews at the time, and my buddy was pretty interested in going into the product. He actually went and sourced the product and found where he could find the where he could manufacture the product. And at the time, there was literally nobody selling a stamp like that except for that guy. So if you look in this market, right, this is actually confidential rolling stamp, and if you look in the market, there's like there's different ones in here, but there aren't, now there are more similar ones. But before they were like this and like this, little cheap ones. And there was only one guy like this making a ton of money. So he decided that he was going to go into the product, and he put up his investment. And what ended up happening is I don't remember why, but he backed out of his investment. Now, that being said, he actually did change the product a little bit as well, which is the funny part, because looking back at it, obviously, hindsight is 20/20, but looking back at it, he would have probably made a killing because When he first started selling this product, or I mean rather when he decided that he was going to sell this product, so there was only one competitor, and nobody was selling with refill packs. So when you went into the reviews, all you could read was people complaining that once the refills ended, there really wasn't a way to refill the product, so you had to buy a new one, and that's obviously a pretty fatal flaw with the product, and that's a huge problem. So what he decided is he contacted the manufacturer and he asked them, do you guys make these refill packs? And obviously, the manufacturer said they do. So he decided that he was going to add these refill packs inside the actual product. So he wanted to do 3 refill packs. And it was very kind of inexpensive thing to do. It was costing, I think, like 10 cents per refill pack. So it was very cheap. And it wouldn't really, hurt the margins too much. So looking back at it now, right, there are 3 main competitors in this niche, and all of them have 3 refill packs. This is actually the exact brand that he was going to compete against. And the funny part is when you actually, click on the product, you can see that he had, changed the listing and added actually refills to it. So this is actually just a natural progression of the market. I think that beforehand, someone actually came into the market and put 3 refills, and then this guy had to kind of adapt to it. But he did. And as you can see right here in the bottom corner, there's another roller stamp. And this one, doesn't have anything. So this was essentially the one he was selling before, and then he kind of made a variation one that comes with refills, and he's also selling it at like double the price and is making a lot more money from it. So basically the point of the story is that when this guy was starting off, he had like 250 reviews, and my buddy was going to come into the market with a change refill pack. He didn't. Somebody else ended up doing it, which I believe it was, let me show you guys. I believe it was this guy right here. So he came in with a different color and also with 3 refills. And what he did was actually very revolutionary, because he did it like a couple months after my buddy decided to pull out. He ended up competing with someone who has 300 reviews, and now he has 1,000, and this guy has 1,500. But he has solidified his spot in the market and is now making, I'm actually not sure how much he's making, so let's check it out. He's making $25,000 a month with 1,000 reviews. So he right there has made a business for himself. He has made a product for himself that is going to continue to give back to him continuously. And here's another guy. What he did, like I said, when you're competing with people who have 1,000 reviews, 1,500 reviews, he came in there probably pretty recently and made a refill pack with 6, not 3. So he did differentiate again. Now, obviously, what the whole point of this tangent is that you can compete with people who have a lot more reviews than you if you're adding the necessary value to stand out from the crowd. Like I said, when I was first starting off, I had to do something a little bit differently to compete with my seller. But because I did that, because I changed the game, not only did I add value, but I also kind of changed how the product was presented. So imagine, you're seeing a product like this, right? Let's say this is the first product, right? This is the guy who's making a killing. The next person comes in and puts out a picture like this, right? With the confidentiality thing already rolled out on like a white screen, right? That looks amazing. This looks so much better than just something like this with like the little picture of what it looks like, right? So not only did I change and add value to the product, I actually also kind of changed the way it was laid out and the way it was shown on the first page. And like most of you guys know, the first thing that people look at is the pictures, then they look at the price, then they look at the reviews. So it was very important to change the game that way. And actually another thing that one of my friends did, and I think I spoke about him on the channel before, what he ended up doing was changing the product slightly, coming out with a new product in a fairly competitive niche. I think the first person had like 100 reviews or something. And he ended up coming in there, he ended up changing it up a bit. And even though, the first person and the second person, I think, had a decent amount of reviews, he came in there because there wasn't many people competing with them, because people were too scared to go into a market where there was somebody who was that dominant in it. Now, looking back at my product, right, I'm still selling that product. And looking back at it, the person is actually not even, ranked number 1 anymore now. My product is not ranked number 1, but someone came in and actually changed up the game that much that he took over the sales completely from that person. Even though he has at this point maybe like 1,500 reviews, he is no longer in the number 1 spot. And that right there is the reason why you're able to compete with people who have 1,000 reviews. So many people are scared of the fact that, someone has so many reviews and never go into it. But all you really have to do, the one secret to it all, if I was gonna, put this down to it, is that you add value and you change the product and you change the game, right? Amazon is simple but not easy. It does take time, but once you figure out what works, you can really compete with almost anyone on the market. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go into products that have 5,000 reviews and everyone on the first page has 5,000 reviews, because that's not going to work out well for you. But if there are sellers on the first page that have, a lot of reviews, don't be scared or worried if it's only like one or two of them, because you can definitely come in and compete as long as you add value. On that note, guys, I'm going to show you guys the product of the day, and I'm going to break down to you guys what I would do potentially to actually show you guys examples of really good things you can do to stand out from the crowd. So as you guys can see here, the product of the day is this baby nasal aspirator. Now, before you guys go crazy, let me explain to you guys why something like this is actually still good, even though there's someone on the first page who has 9,000 reviews. The reason I say this is still a good product is because when you open up the Jungle Scout, you can see a lot of cool stuff here. You'll see how much money everyone is making on the first page and how many reviews they have. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna quickly go over the products that actually are not the same product that we're talking about. So I'm actually here to talk about a product like this. So it is this electric kind of nasal aspirator. I think kind of like pulls snot out of the kid's nose or something. I may be completely wrong, but that's what I think it is. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So I'm gonna take off stuff like this that is really not the same product. So I'll be right back. So let's break this down now. Now that I have all these same products on the first page, I'm gonna show you guys how you can use this product and similar products to this to actually differentiate how to get your mindset right so that you know exactly what you should be doing. So basically right off the bat, right, you can see there's one right here, and this is the one that we're gonna use as our example. So this one has, is making $3,700 a month with 2 reviews. Now, that's pretty crazy because when there are people who have, 726 reviews, 2,000 reviews, that's actually a decent amount of money to make. So in this case, this is the granddaddy of this whole niche. I believe this product has been around for the longest. As you can see, it has the most reviews and also it has a terrible rating. Along with that, the actual picture looks horrible. So as you can see, it's like still in the packaging. So they were too lazy to pull it out of the packaging to make it look nice, something like this one. Literally all this guy has to do to absolutely destroy this market is to make it look like this, kind of make it box and stuff like that. Also, if you look at the price points, it's actually very low. I'm actually not even positive this is the exact same product. So I'm just gonna exit for now. But these are all the products that we're actually looking at. They all are the same thing, basically. And I'm gonna show you guys how quickly the, opportunity score changed, because when we first came into it, it was a 3. But once I X'd out all the products that actually didn't have anything to do with this one, you really start to notice how something like this could be potentially a very good product to sell. Now it says this, now it's a 7. That's pretty funny. So let's go to the one that is making $4,000 a month, almost with only 2 reviews, and let's see what they're doing and why they are, kind of even able to compete in this market. So their pictures look decent. I mean, these aren't the greatest, so I mean, that's whatever. This first picture looks great. There's a lot of color. There's, 3 tips, kind of says there's 3 tips and everything you need to know is in here. Okay, so it looks decent. It's a decent price point. Let's look at the next one. So this is the one that has the most reviews in the market. It only has a 3.5 stars. So there are obviously room for improvements. You can go into the reviews, you can read what needs to change to make it a 4-star. And once you do make it a 4-star, that itself is going to help you differentiate so much from your competition. People really care about, obviously the quantity of reviews, but people almost care more about the quality of those reviews. So, as long as you have good quality product, you will be able to compete with this guy. So another thing this guy does is he also has 3 tips. So that's awesome. Now, a thing that, makes this guy so powerful in the market is because he actually bundled, right? So if you looked at the first picture, I mean, this is terrible because I really don't know what this is until I actually click into it. But once you do click into it, you can see that he's giving away a free, another like nasal aspirator. But this one is for manual kind of, doing it manually instead of this, right? Just in case you're on the go or something. So that is a really cool thing to do. He has the 3 tips and the manual thing. This one doesn't, okay? So even though this one kind of looks cool, I don't think it'll ever be as successful because it doesn't have that in it. It doesn't have that bundle. So let me look at another one here. This was another one that had a unique bundle. Also, the pictures look good. This looks like a very, very nice picture. And as you can see here, he also bundles it with another thing. Now, for me, again, I don't know what this is, but after a little bit of research, you can see that it is like, I think, a nail clipper for kids, and has a little magnifying glass. Something like this does not cost a lot of money to put into a product that costs, $36. You can, one thing you could do was come in. First of all, you have to read this guy's reviews, because this guy's product is obviously better than the last one. That's the reason he's able to compete. Also, on top of that, including something like this, and also maybe an actual manual one won't cost you too much money, but will definitely differentiate you from the competition. And the one last thing that actually was a really cool thing, if I find it here. So here's another one, right? This one is actually, I think, how much is this one making? 0 reviews, $2,000. That's pretty good. And here's one that I wanted to show you guys, right? This one has 25 customer reviews, 4.5 stars. So potentially they fixed something in that market. On top of that, when you open it up, it actually is making a killing with almost 12,000 revenue with only 25 reviews. Now, what you have to do is you have to understand why, right? Always ask yourself why. Now, in this case, this guy has a few tips also. He has some sort of tweezers or something included, not shown off very well. He has a traveling case, but that's, I think, not the reason he's doing so well. Now, let me tell you the reason why someone like this is doing well. And it's right over here, okay? This one is an LED, okay, shown in the picture. This one is actually shown as an LED. Now, I don't think it's any different than these ones, because these ones actually have an LED. Well, this one doesn't, so this one isn't. This is something you can compete with, because this guy doesn't have an LED. But I think this one, does this one? This one doesn't either, but one of them did. And I think it's this one. So this one has an LED, right? And that's the reason these guys are able to compete. So once you actually narrow the focus of like why, right? You gotta ask yourself why all the time. Why are they able to compete? And in this case, right, this guy's making so much money because in his first picture, you can see right off the bat, once you type in nasal aspirators, right? Once you type it in, everyone has no one has an LCD. But once you make it over to his, I don't know where his is, but you can see right away, there it is, that he has a LCD screen. And that's what people want. That's what people are looking for. And just like that, you're able to come into a market, switch it up, differentiate, stand out from the crowd, and make an absolute killing in a market that is a 3 on the opportunity score, right? So that right there is the product of the day. And I hope you guys did enjoy the little breakdown, because I think that's gonna help a lot of you guys out. So right now I'm going to announce the winners from last video's one-on-one call, like the one-on-one call winners. So they're right here and right there. If you guys won, reply in the comments, a link to your Facebook ID, and I'll reach out to you guys through there. If you guys do want to win today's one-on-one call, remember to comment down below done with something that you're grateful for. It can literally be anything. Also remember to subscribe and like the video, and I'll be announcing that winner in the next video. So stick around for that, guys, and I'll see you very, very soon. Peace.